very special guest in the studio, ShadowCV6. Welcome. Thank you for coming down. Coventry ain't too far, is it?
Nah.
It's not too far.
20 miles or so.
Yeah.
20 odd miles.
So there you go.
Not too bad.
But anyway, we're going to start from the very beginning because I have to be honest, I haven't known of you for that long. You get me? Yeah. But I know that you've been doing it for a minute. So let's just start with, where are you from?
Coventry. Born and raised in Coventry, yeah. CV6. Obviously ShadowCV6.
There you go.
I started doing music. There was a bit of a time in like 07, 08 when there was a load of crews and that in Coventry, like loads of different crews. And it was just a big thing to start doing music and start spitting, basically. So I started doing that, I think I was about 13, 14. Yeah. Probably lasted 6 months to a year or something, going around with C.M, this one crew. Okay. Still a few lads that actually spit, Jammy and them, man.
Okay.
Started rolling around with them, and then kind of same as a lot of people, it just sort of fizzled out. Yeah. And there weren't really no money in it. You're starting to get to the certain stage where you're trying to work out what you want to do. Mm-hmm. And at these points, doing music isn't really something that you think about taking as a career. You know, it's like, you know, it's almost like being a football player or something like that. I suppose sometimes through the education system you can just get triggered into doing your maths, English, science and getting a normal job sort of thing, and they don't really buzz this creative side sort of thing. So that fizzled out. Carried on doing my thing.
How old were you when you started, you said, though?
About 13, 14, but like from the age of like 9 I was published in like books doing poetry.
Really?
So, okay. So my nan, who I don't actually speak to anymore, she found a thing in like the paper that she read, I think it was the Daily Mail or something, and there was like a section for like young poets to just enter poetry. So I just started writing poems just about like literally about I'd write poems about things in my back garden and things like that. It was literally just about nature and stuff, just random, and they got published, and it was just like mad because I got sent free stuff and got like the books.
So from an early stage your writing ability,
rhyming schemes and everything
sort of at a level,
particular rhyming scheme that I used, and I could write a poem within the space of about, I don't know, 10 minutes. And
you didn't have anyone that you sort of looked at that age to say, I like what they do, I like to emulate that? Or
I mean, one thing I always say, and it sounds like mad, like cliche and that, but you know Eminem, like you know, obviously Eminem, like, is just someone that, you know, man listened to like growing up, and then Devlin's like my you know, my UK version, who's just as strong as influence.
My gosh,
like
underrated.
Like I listen to so much different music, but I feel like just from that sort of age, from like 11, 12 coming up, like they're the sort of tunes that I was like listening to, and this maybe had the influence on, you know, what I started doing. When I started actually doing music was 5 years ago, seriously now. 4 or 5 years ago. It was in 2015, sorry. So just over 4 years ago. And I came into music super excited. I think I released a little freestyle, which looking back now on Facebook, you know, got like loads, because people sort of already knew me anyway, and they're intrigued to see what this new music thing I was doing. So yeah, from there I was just mad excited. I was in the studio like all the time releasing music, and looking back it was pretty terrible, but the fan base was building. And then I linked in with Socks from Birmingham, so I sent an email to him. And like Socks was like another, like, you know, honestly at this point probably from like 13, 14, even up until being 16 and stuff like that, like we'd listen to Socks, you know, at 16, 17, you know, like when I first passed my test, we had a CD with all his tunes in the car. So when I actually started doing music at a few years later, and I emailed him and he got back to me, obviously we started working and we built a really good relationship from there. So we were just, you know, we vibed really well together, and from then basically I ended up doing BBC One Extra within 2 weeks of starting music.
And this is 2015.
2015.
And this is probably why when you first came into the studio and I was saying, I'm a bit late, but I swear I'd heard of you before. I think it was that time.
Yeah, probably that time.
I was thinking.
And it was right at the beginning. So it was a bit of a mad one for me with my career, because I came in and just got a load of bring-ins from Socks, basically. You know, which I'm forever grateful for. You know, because there's things there that are, you know, I'm just starting to get back into actually going to One Extra and going to BBC London now. Now everything's sort of popping off with Ride My Wave and stuff. So it's actually taken, you know, them years of progress to go from actually being there through bring-ins and then having to just re-establish myself as my own sort of artist when I sort of stepped away from there.
Which is what happens. You do have to have your own sort of breakaway time when it's your time to do it.
To do my thing, exactly.
I do remember obviously with JK and the other guys when they were in the other crew and that.
Same with Socks and JK, And then look at JK now and the way he's progressed and the way he's going, and now it's I believe JK's bringing Socks in on a lot of stuff now as well. So it all works full circle at the end of the day.
Roundabouts.
Yeah, exactly. So
all right then. So what would you say was the first ever tune that sort of you thought, I'm here now?
As in my tune that I made?
Yeah.
I made a tune called Gotta Get Through This.
Okay.
Which basically went out on a local channel called Track Record Entertainment.
Yeah.
Big up to them guys. They've done a lot of stuff around Wolverhampton and that as well. I know Raj was back and forth videoing a lot of guys.
Okay.
I did a tune with them. And that is nearly on 100,000 views on a homegrown channel, no GRM daily or anything. And this was done in maybe 2016.
Yes.
So this was at a point where there was really just, I don't know, it's just there wasn't a lot going on, and this tune just popped off. It's called Gotta Get Through This because it was done with the grime remix of the Daniel Bedingfield tune.
Okay.
So I believe as well the nostalgic thing from that, and some really skippy, really catchy bars that I put on it. Yeah, exactly. exactly. So I mean, just prior to that, I was actually clashing.
Okay.
So as grime MCs do, we come up and we clash or whatever, and I had a bit of like a lyrical war with another artist basically, and that's a term we use in the grime scene. Do you know what I mean? I was clashing with this guy, and it was going back and forth on Facebook, and the videos were getting like 15, 20,000, 25,000 views a time. Yeah. And we were all just starting out, and we're like, we feel like we're blowing up at this point. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that really built like an interest in what was going on.
Well.
Then released like the official like diss track video, which I've actually since had removed from YouTube. Yeah. I personally removed it just because the sort of the message I'm spreading and that now and what I'm sort of doing doesn't really interact with that.
Doesn't correlate.
So I had nearly 60,000 views on YouTube.
Wow.
It was a conscious decision I had to make because it's one of my highest viewed videos, but I wasn't happy with the quality of it, and what I was saying weren't really representing me now. So yeah.
So the clashing thing is what sort of put you on the map, you would say then?
I'd say so, yeah. Well, I'd say the Socks link up originally. Yeah. So imagine now everyone knows who Socks is. He's never really done too much work with Coventry artists. I start 2 weeks later, we're on a tune. Yeah. And everyone's like,
how does this happen?
How's this going on? Do you know what I mean? So that really kick-started it. From there, developed some hatred from local artists because they seen how dare I've been on this 4 years. Yeah. My man's just walked in and he's on one extra. Nah, this can't run. You know what I mean? That's where the clashing came from. Okay. And then I had to step up my game, slew man in that way. Yeah. And then I put myself on a certain level, you know what I mean?
So it's not, I wouldn't say it was sort of it was a shock to you. But when you blew up, because you hadn't had like the normal sort of grind to get up to that kind of level. Yeah. What was that like? Having to deal with the pressure and
it was
the lights and.
So I mean, it's crazy because I went into the one extra thing. At first, I genuinely thought I was just driving there and I was going to get to be in the building and whatever, and I was just going to really like enjoy the experience. Yeah. When I got there, and there was a couple of lads similar to me kind of there who were there with like the other guys, Gino and Chopper and whatever. Yeah. And they said, "Do you want to spit?" And they were like, "Oh no, we don't want to spit." Yeah. And I was like, "Give me the mic," you know what I mean? Like I was ready to go.
Hungry thing.
At this point, I didn't even confidently know like that I could spit on beat. As such. Like, like if you threw me sort of any beat now, within reason, I could ride it. You know what I mean? Back then I didn't know I had these skills, you know what I mean? So it was just, and I know that no matter what happens, this is going on BBC One Extra, you know. I don't know whether they can cut me out if I'm really bad or what. So we've done it, and from there it was just like I got to see like the really, you got Charlie Sloth and Mr. Jam and that walking into the building while you're there. And this is like a week into my career, 2 weeks in, a month into my career or whatever. So it really was just like, it was crazy. And then like I say, having to reset from there and then go and do my thing and re-establish myself. It's really nice to now see I'm getting attention from these places. Yeah. And it's come from the back of, going off and doing my thing. But all these little things have fully added to the journey, like every little piece. Okay. And when I actually go back and calculate everything that's happened, it really is like, it's a grind. It's a mad grind. If you go back and just tally up the mileage and everything of what's been done over the past 4 years, you couldn't write it in a book, you know what I mean? So
okay, well,
the grind is real.
All right then, so we're short on time. When did you suddenly start getting the more serious interest? When did you decide, I'm going to set up my own channel? Because this is what I think is amazing right now. You've got your own YouTube channel, and then you've put out a video, and the numbers, you talk about the numbers.
Yeah, so we're fast approaching 200,000 on my channel in the space of about 6 weeks. Wow. It's been a roller coaster basically. Like it's the video that I've got on BBC One Extra has got 190,000. And that's been out for 4 years basically. BBC One Extra channel. So this video now, within the next week probably, the way it's going, is gonna surpass that. Wow. And it's on my channel. you know, like 3.3 thousand likes on it, 900 comments.
Yeah.
I mean, these are numbers that the big guys are doing. I'm unsigned. I'm an unsigned artist. I've got management now that I've picked up, you know, from when Ride My Wave dropped and you know, things that I've done, you know, the promotions I put together, getting in the right people's eyes, basically.
So we were talking, sorry to cut you,
no
off of camera, and you were talking about how at first you did sort of think that you can sort of do it from your bedroom. What was the sort of paradigm shift, this change in your mind that made you think, actually, I need to start getting out there more?
I think for me it's like the hunger to actually have that, you know, that human interaction of what people are actually feeling. You know, you can sit in your room for a month and create a load of bangers, but like, you know, there's only so much satisfaction that you get from like messages and that on Instagram. You know, now I'll go out and people are like, can I have a photo? You know, like it's crazy, you know, people are like sort of gassed to meet me, and I mean, I'm still just getting my head around a lot of this stuff at the minute, and it's still very, very, very early on, and you know, it might be maybe a few times a week or something like that while I'm out and about that will happen, but it's all a progression, and but it's amazing when someone comes up to me in the street and asks me for a photo. Like it can make my day. You know, right now it can make my day, basically. You know, so
I can still see that it's what's it called? That you're still normal as well. Some people can still get a bit lost in the sauce. And they can get suddenly by the views and everything. They forget that they're just a normal person. One of the guys who I play on the show, Saint Mike, when I saw him do one of your Ride Your Wave challenge, and I saw you comment for it, I was just like, see that he's still interacting with the people.
I interact with everyone. That's like, even across YouTube, I've spent a lot of time. Because this is my thing, I'm trying to build like a strong fan base, you know, of people, a community, you know. I've got group chats and things like that I've got on Instagram that people have chosen to join, and you know, we chat away, and if they've got problems or things going on, they'll even message me like that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not Superman. I can't respond to absolutely everyone. But I really do take the time to, I mean, if you go across my YouTube, there's 900 comments and I've replied to pretty much every single one. So probably 450, 500 like comments I've replied to across the space of 6 weeks.
God.
And this just keeps people, you know, interacting. A bit of advice for upcoming artists, like literally I see it all the time, and I'm noticing people do it now that are following me. They see me do it, and now they're responding to their artists, because I analyze everything that's going on. I see that they're doing it now, and it's good, because before it was the odd like or just a quick emoji back or whatever, but a quick thank you, bro, you know what I mean? Thank you for appreciating what I'm doing, do you know what I mean?
They're switching up the culture, man. They need to know that you can't get lost in the sauce.
It's going a bit mad at the minute, isn't it, bro? You know what I mean? That's the problem.
I know. So Coventry, speaking of that, Coventry has been getting in the papers a bit for the gangs and the shootings and all that. What do you think? What's the reason for that? Well, I mean, it's obviously probably the same around the whole country. Really.
I mean, you got this is one of them things where you really got to be careful in certain things that you say, but I definitely do feel, and I'll say it with my chest, I feel like a lot of artists that are doing their thing in the UK aren't putting across the right message to the kids. Now I understand that people are talking about their life, and I get that, you know what I mean? I understand, you know, Krept and Conan have been there talking about the drill thing, because they're completely against drill being banned.
They got to Parliament or something.
Of course, because they're really, you know, they're guys I look up to and I listen to, you know, they're really strong characters, but I just feel like you've got a lot of kids from nice areas. You know, you're talking like the places that aren't, and I'm not saying London's not a nice area, but I mean, you know, like you got the hustle and bustle and that of London. It's a very much like a bit of a concrete jungle. You know, when you're there and you're in it, you sort of see what's going on. It's a big city life. You now got kids from like the outskirts and that who aren't even from this life, who I believe are picking up influences from some of the music they're listening to,
seeing the
glamour in it, like, and then obviously now you've got SBTV releasing things like drilling, where that really, like, that scared me to watch, you know, how graphic it is. And then that's a little bit, and I believe now in Coventry as well, there's been a few deaths, and you know, it's tragic, and I believe that the young kids that don't need to be about this life, because they've got good parents and that. I know a lot of them, they've got good parents, they come from good backgrounds, and they're like trying to portray this madness, and they're actually willing to hurt people to get the backing from the guys that maybe are the bad boys of the thing, that are then having the bad impact on them, you know what I'm saying? So this is why I'm here to try and just say, this is the way. Like, I ain't no angel, you know what I'm saying? I've made a lot of mistakes, but who can glorify stabbing someone?
I know.
Who can glorify like hurt, like slicing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It annoys me. You know what I mean? Because
and I honestly think that if somebody's actually done it and all that kind of stuff, I see it's a horror thing, man. They're flashbacking.
Well, this is what I'm saying now, and this is what happened. A lot of these young kids that have seen their friends die now in Coventry, like. Yeah. Oh, this is real.
This is real.
Oh, this is real.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not GTA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
Not Fortnite. You know what I'm saying? Like people's families are like hysterically breaking down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it's crazy. Do you know what I mean? So I believe that it's starting to have a thing. But there was a situation not so long ago. I won't go too much in depth. I was at the studio, and a young lad come running basically, and he was being chased. You know what I mean? And I had to back him in the whip. You know what I'm saying? And get him out of there. And I was just chilling outside the studio, having a cigarette. You know what I'm saying? So it's scary. I've got a 2-year-old son. This is happening. Do you know what I mean? So this, I'm hoping if I can, when my music goes to where it's going to go, because I know it's going to go to certain places, I can have the right effect on the right people.
All right. I have to remind you that we have run very little time, but I like what you said when you said that you've pulled down a tune or a clashing thing because it wasn't projecting the right message. So it really shows and really gives me lots of happiness to know that there's an artist out there who's being put on platforms who actually understands the power that he actually has and the importance that he has to be able to definitely be more a role model for these kids. All right, then, we got 2 minutes. Tell people something that we don't know and that you want us to know, and then go into where we can find you and follow your journey.
Okay, so ShadowCV6. I've got an array of music out across all platforms: Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, YouTube. So if you're listening to this, go and you can type ShadowCV6 in absolutely anywhere. Just get the post notifications turned on, get locked in, because there's a lot of stuff coming, and join the wave now while it's there to be jumped on, because soon
get your surfboards, guys. Get your surfboards.
Soon it'll be too big, and if you try and jump on, you'll drown.
Exactly. All right then, boom. We are gonna have an Eat the Beat after this, but we are gonna play one of your tunes. Thank you very much for coming down to the studio, sir.
Thank you for having me, bro.
It's always, time flies when I'm having fun, and I know that one day I might just tell the guys I need to have a lot longer. Show might be a 2-hour one, but we know people are busy, so that's why it's only 1 hour. But anyway, we're gonna play I Spy remix. This one has got retweeted by Captain Conan and all them man them, didn't it?
Yeah.
So they're doing their thing. So thank you for coming down, and we will definitely be supporting you and playing everything that you're doing, and keep it moving, man. All right, then. Here we go.